Hey guys, back again with another 30-second scale aircraft review. This time we're looking at Edward's 1/32nd scale BF109E kit. Specifically, they're over the Balkan Peninsula limited edition boxing. Let's open her on up and take a look. So, starting off, we have main sprue containing our two fuselage halves, a lot of the cowling, one of our drop tanks, and a few other odds and end parts. You can really, hopefully this will show up on camera, see just the amount of surface detailing that Edward's done on this kit. No internal cockpit detailing on the sides. Those are going to be handled by separate parts that we'll look at in a little bit. Continuing on, we've got our wing halves and our single under wing section. Open up for the landing gear bays and see the various details. And they do mold the slats as separate, so that's a nice inclusion there. Excuse me. Continuing on, we've got our cockpit tub, control surfaces, rudder, flaps, our main prop, and a few other odds and end parts on this sprue. Again, much the same level of detailing. And do like that they give us all the surfaces so that you can do stuff with positioning. It's always a nice inclusion. Continuing on, we've got our main gear, gear doors, intercooler inlets, and a few other parts for the cockpit. We also get our main dash piece, which hopefully is going to show up on camera best I can. Overall, that particular piece is good, especially for this scale. I'm quite impressed with it as is. Much the same with the other part of the panel. Very nice there. Now, one thing this kit does give you an option on is to have the cowling open or closed, and in the open configuration, gives you a nice full engine to work with. Overall, detail on the engine is quite good. Similarly with the two machine guns and all the components that go into building them up. You can sort of get a good sense here from this part exactly what you're going to be working with. But yeah, that's a definite nice inclusion to have all that in the box, which, you may or may not go with that option, but it's nice to have. Always a plus. Now, moving on, we've got the last main sprue. We've got our landing gear and a lot of the components that will go into the cockpit. And you can see here on the sidewalls, again, detailing is very nice. Edwards did a very good job on this kit. And that's just for the base parts. Now, moving on to our clear parts, I kept them in this bag that came in just to keep them safe. Or the glass is fantastic. It is super crystal clear, nicely detailed for all of the components. Yeah. So definitely high quality in terms of all the casts. Now, one thing that this kit and Edwards is always known for are their extras. So this kit does come with some photo etch, mostly for the cockpit and seat belts. Overall, not too much there, but we also get for some of the other detail parts and as well as a lot of the grills. So again, nice inclusion. But on top of that, we get this nice bit of resin extras for the wheels and tail gear assembly. Definitely a nice bonus. That's not always expected. And of course, we also get Edwards' typical canopy masks. Those fantastic inclusion, especially for this era aircraft, as those are always going to have a lot of frame to mask off. Now let's get into the decals if I can get them up. So first up, we've got our main sheet with all the individual unit markings for the different airframes that are included with this kit. The color saturation is fantastic. The blacks are nice and black. So this particular cross got a little bit of a smudge to it somehow. But other than that, fantastic decals again, and no complaints there. You get nice little markings, and these are always nice to save for other projects as well, if you don't end up using them. Continuing on, we then have all of our stencils, and interesting enough, they gave you a black and a red option, so that is another nice bonus to have, so that depending on which camouflage scheme you're going with, you're going to be covered. Oh, get these back in, and then we'll move on to the instructions. Okay. Now, getting into the instructions. Much like all aircraft kits, starting in the cockpit and building up, given the little photo etch set and all that, this is going to add a little bit to the difficulty. But I would say this is definitely one to consider for more first advanced kit where you are going to be using photo etch, because it's not too much and just adds just enough. Overall, if you're not building it with the cowling open, I would say it's not overly complex. Albeit, if you do choose to do it with the cowling open, it does get a little more. But after you get through there, it's pretty much your typical aircraft kit. You built one, you built them all type deal. There's no real sort of gotchas beyond that point. Again, nice set of resin extra details. Definitely add up. And obviously, once you get everything sort of plugged away, nothing really jumps out. It's not going to cause problems. Great full color decal placement sheets, marking options. There's several different ones, nice little bits of history. And if I can get this page to turn, probably the most difficult are going to be this one and the one immediately before it, just because of that particular camouflage scheme. Getting that right will be a challenge. Lastly, finishes with our stencil guide. So overall, this is a nice little kit. It adds a lot of smart extras, and honestly, I would call this one as a good step-up kit. A great kit for someone who's dealt with just basic modeling and is ready to go next level. So definitely one to consider all around. So that was a look at Eduard's 1/32 scale BF109E. Specifically, they're over the Balkan Peninsula limited edition boxing. Great kit, and one that you can definitely use to expand and grow your skills. So, until next time.